Broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the TCMMA Podcast with your host, Chris Cross.
Whoa!
Dana White privilege.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, baby!
Dana White privilege. Privilege. Privilege.
What up? This is your boy Chris Cross checking in. This is the TCMMA Podcast, and what a night it was last night at UFC 324. We're going to get into all of those highlights and the reactions, and we're going to jump into UFC 325. That's right, we got back-to-back what you used to call pay-per-view events. Now you call numbered events. So we're getting into both of those. We got a bunch of clips to play for you on today's show. But last night, I mean, it was a great card. It started out with 4 KOs, but then you fast forward to the main event, and at first the fans were with Paddy, and they remain with Paddy. But then the USA chants began to take over. So as Paddy's coming to the octagon, this is what you hear. Right? So you hear the chants for Paddy the Baddie. But then all of a sudden, the USA chants start to get loud as the fight goes on. And this is what you're hearing throughout the night, right? It just got louder and louder on both sides. At first, it's all Paddy. I mean, it's completely all Paddy Pimblett. And then, Justin Gaethje came to the party. I mean, there's just no question about it. He showed up, and it ended up being a classic. I mean, there's just no better way to put it. It was just a classic fight, classic atmosphere, great way to kick things off on Paramount Plus. But here's how the fight ended in terms of the decision. This is the reaction. Let's jump into it right now. I mean, this fight was unreal between Gaethje and Pimblett, man. As we await the decision, it's worth it to go over the numbers in this one. Total strikes 219 to 177 for Justin. And then we'll talk about round by round, 178 to 169 in significant strikes for Justin. So, I mean, you're talking about 9 significant strike difference in a high-paced fight. But the head strikes, that's the key. 148 to 97 for Justin. So even though the significant strikes were close, Justin was landing, 148 head strikes, and Paddy kept standing and going back, coming back. It's crazy. Justin, 3 takedowns, 555 of control. On paper, Justin won this fight. But Paddy did lead in 2 of the 5 rounds. Round 3 and round 5. Then round 1 was 36 to 35. So if I had to guess, I'm going to say it's 3 rounds to 2 for Justin Gaethje. That's what it seems like. 3 rounds to 2 for Justin Gaethje. And this is one of the most epic fights you'll ever see. I mean, the lightweight division never lets down. What an epic fight. Even if Paddy loses, his stock still goes through the roof. Because this is a guy, most guys would have laid down in round 2. And here we go. This is tense. Here we go. $48-47, $49-46, $49-46 is going to be Justin. Paddy knows he didn't win 4 rounds. New interim title holder, lightweight division. So that means Justin is fighting for the title. What a fight, y'all. But Justin Gaethje pulls it out in dramatic fashion. Credit him. Credit him. His stock goes up too. He's now 27-5. Wow. That's the way it goes down. Main event, lightweight division, UFC 324. Yeah, so just a epic night. I mean, for both guys, the striking was ridiculous. Over 330 significant strikes, maybe more. And you just left this fight thinking about both guys and their stock.
This guy's stock is rising fast.
I mean, both of their stock is rising fast.
Fast.
I mean, there's just no other way to put it. Just a tremendous performance. And even though Patty lost, you're still coming away thinking that you can't wait for the future. I mean, there's just no question about it. Now in the co-main event,
Sugar Show, baby. Woo!
could Sean O'Malley get the win and potentially set up a championship fight against Petr Yan? So that if he can win this fight, he beats China, right? Then UFC White House, if he wins that, he beats Russia. Who does not want to see that, regardless of who wins? Just that scenario. I mean, yeah, Merab deserves a title fight, but let him just wait and fight the winner. Give him another warm-up fight, maybe. Hopefully he wins that. But like, I want to see Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan if he could win this fight.
I love the Sugar Show.
I mean, there's just no question about it. So let's jump into that reaction. I mean, obviously, the fight went to a decision. O'Malley needed a finish to guarantee a title fight, but it went to a decision and it was no guarantee. So this is how it sounded. O'Malley versus Song comes down to the most insignificant round, round number 1. O'Malley finishes strong at the end of the fight. If it's a 5-round fight, O'Malley wins easy, but it's not. It's 3 rounds. So Song won round 2. O'Malley dominated round 3, not 10-8 dominated, but he dominated round number 3. And now it's going to come down to who the judges gave round 1 to. And in round 1, O'Malley led a little bit, but then he got taken down with about 40 seconds left and finished on his back. So if he loses, that's going to be the reason. No question about it. And as we wait for Bruce Buffer to deliver the news, which way will it go? I don't know that either fighter did enough to get a title fight. One thing going for O'Malley is UFC White House, and who doesn't want to see USA versus Russia at UFC White House? So this is a huge, huge decision. Here we go. Oh my goodness. 29-28, one way or the other. It's unanimous. Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yes! Yes! And the crowd erupts because they know what that means. We're probably going to see USA versus Russia at UFC White House. And man, O'Malley let out a fresh, yeah, look at his eyes closed. He's like, thank goodness, man. And he needed that. He needed that for his confidence level. That's huge for Sean O'Malley to get this win. Yep, championship mindset. He's saying he's back. And hey, sometimes in order to get back on top, you got to just win a fight any way you can. And that's what O'Malley did here at UFC 324. Yeah, so that's the way it went down. O'Malley wins, Patty falls, but the guy's stock is still rising. So just a great night. I mean, it would have been even better if Patty could have won, but you got to give it to Justin Gaethje. So 2 great fights here, both going to a decision, but both fantastic fights. Can't complain, especially because earlier in the night, you had some finishes. I mean, you had some 4 straight finishes to start the night. 4 straight finishes. But before we get to those, let's get to the Waldo Cortez Acosta Derek Lewis finish. This was another phenomenal finish, and it didn't go the way of Derek Lewis. Check this out. Derek Lewis beginning to get tired now. Clearly. And he's got to do something. Waldo just continues to break him down, leading in significant strikes. And Lewis reaches out with a big left, and see, he's loading up every time. That's causing him to get tired. He takes a right, he goes down. Derek Lewis on his back. Waldo's going to go on top this time, and he lands a few elbows, and Derek Lewis is not fighting back. The ref's looking at it. Derek Lewis is not fighting back, and that's it. Waldo Cortez Acosta finishes Derek Lewis. And that's a big notch on his resume. I mean, even though Derek Lewis is up there at like 39 now, that's still a big win for Cortez Acosta. He's going to move to 17-2. And Derek Lewis kind of slipped and just kind of went down on his back. He looked like he was fine at that point, but, really tired. And Cortez Acosta, the first time, let him back up. This time, took his time, went right down to the ground, and boom, landed an elbow. And then you saw Derek Lewis's hands drop. And then that was it. So Cortez Acosta gets the KO here, or TKO for that matter, heavyweight division, UFC 324. Yeah, so I think Derek Lewis is done fighting at the highest level and getting a chance at a title fight. I mean, it's just not going to happen. And but credit Cortez Acosta, that's a big win on his resume. There's just no question about it. Now, Todd Miller and Josh Hokett got some big wins last night, big finishes. You also had a couple others like Alex Perez finishing Charles Johnson. And Charles Johnson's looked good over the past couple years. But Alex Perez returned to form. Remember, he lost like 3 of the last 4 or 4 of the last 5, something like that, but the big-time fighters. This is still Alex Perez. Check this out. Alex Perez pouring it on now. Charles Johnson trying to stay in this fight. He takes another right. He goes down to a knee, shoots for the takedown, and it's not looking good for him. Perez quickly takes the back and lands another left in a second. Johnson back to his feet, though. And he needs to keep moving. He needs to get out of there. And he's having a tough time moving, and Perez is not letting up. And another right. Johnson takes off and gets out of there and bounces into the fence. Just doesn't look good here. I mean, after that first big right at about a minute into the fight, Perez is pouring it on now. And Johnson says, oh, Johnson takes a left and he goes down, and that's it. He gets shoved off by the ref. And Charles Johnson doesn't argue. He shoves the ref off, and he's not happy. But listen, the ref saved him. And Perez backed off after that left. He's going to move to 26-10. And Perez looked like the old Perez, like 2 or 3 years ago when he was on a roll and, climbing the flyweight division. And that's a big win for him because Charles Johnson has been very active over the last 3 years, 12 fights, and looked good in a lot of them, but not in this one. Perez dominates 57-10 in significant strikes and finishes Charles Johnson. So since the UFC added the 25K finish bonus, we've had 3 straight finishes to start the night. Flyweight division, UFC at 324. Yeah, so Perez looked good. Another guy that looked good was Nikita Krylov from Russia. KO'd Modestas Bukauskas with about 3 seconds left in the fight. That was an amazing finish. We thought we were going to have our first decision of the night, but it ended up being 4 straight finishes. Atiba Gautier moved to 10-1 with a win over Puliev. Umar Nurmagomedov just dissected Davison Figueiredo, another Russian fighter, to get the win, and they're on the rise right now, if they weren't already. John Silva beat Arnold Allen pretty easily, 2-1 on 2 cards, 3-0 on the other. Natalia Silva beat Thug Rose 2-1 across the board, and that's kind of the way this thing went down. So it was just a great night of fighting. Make no mistake about it. But when we come back, guess what, y'all? It doesn't stop. We got another big card this week at UFC 325. Stay tuned. You asked, and we have delivered. The podcast gear is here. We got hoodies, shirts, multiple different colors, hats, everything. All your needs for the podcast in one place. But it's not just about the podcast, right? Don't invite Brazil to the party. This gear is out as well. Same deal, multiple different colors. You're seeing just some of the basics there: hoodies, shirts, pants, hats, whatever you need. And we say, don't invite Brazil to the party because when they come, they usually win. Don't invite them to your hometown. Don't invite them to America. It's going to be a problem. So get your Brazil gear right now. That's all we got. Back to the podcast. Yeah, man, definitely check out the merch shop. We're working hard on it. And again, you asked and we have delivered. So get you some merch. And remember, don't invite Brazil to the party because it's always a problem. Now, UFC 325 is on deck this Saturday night. Where I live in West Virginia, we're just in the middle of a winter storm. So if you're hearing stuff around me, it sounds like an avalanche is about to hit every 2 or 3 minutes as snow and ice is just crashing to the ground from the roof. But I say that because this Saturday it's going to be -2 while UFC is going on. So I'm about to freeze my butt off. Of course, we got a little space heater in here, but it doesn't hardly do anything when it gets that cold. So my mouth is chattering, right? It was last night a little bit. It starts to freeze up. But guess what? UFC's on, man. We're marching on. As long as the power's on, we are live. That's the bottom line. So just pray that the power stays on. So UFC 325 is going to be a big time card in Sydney, Australia. And I mean, and it's a deep card too because you got Road to UFC finals going on in 3 fights like Sulong Rongbo versus Lawrence Liu. Bantamweight title fight. You got Nakamura versus Zale. Japan versus Australia in another title fight. So you have a lot of Road to UFC title fights. Aaron Tall versus Bat Bayar in the first fight of the night. So you're going to have like 4 or 5 title fights. And you get the Khan Offley versus Yiza in the featherweight division. You got Jonathan McAuliffe and Oban Elliott, welterweight division. And that's just the early prelims. How many fights? There's 6 fights in the early prelims. It's going to be a long night. Then when you get into the prelims, you got Jacob Malkoun versus Torres Finay. Oh my goodness. Middleweight division, Cam Ralston versus Cody Brundage. That's going to be an absolute battle. Junior Tafa versus Billy Elikana. So you got fights like this going down early. And it's probably going to, I don't know if this thing can start at 5 o'clock. It might have to start at 4. If you got 6 fights in the early prelims. Then you get to the main card and things heat up. Lightweight division, Quinlan Salkild versus Jamie Malarkey. It doesn't matter if it's for a title or if it's just a regular fight, the lightweight division never lets down. So that's going to be a great way to start the main card. But then you get into fight 4. This will be our first big prediction of the night. Heavyweight division. You got Tai Tuivasa versus Taliesin Teixeira. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a heck of a fight. Let's get to it right now. In the heavyweight division at UFC 325, you got Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa taking on Taliesin Teixeira, a guy with 9 fights as a professional. That's it. So it's Australia versus Brazil. Tuivasa 15-8, Teixeira 8-1, and this fight goes down in Australia. So Tuivasa is looking to do the shoey in front of the home crowd. Now Teixeira, Brazilian, right? Big guy. He's 5 inches taller than Tuivasa, standing at 6 feet 7 inches. That's a tall task for Tuivasa. Teixeira 26, Tuivasa 32. Teixeira 8-inch reach advantage. He fights right-handed. Tuivasa fights southpaw or left-handed. Teixeira so far in just a few fights, 12.8 significant strikes per minute. That's obviously not a good indicator because that number is going to come way down. Tuivasa at 3.8. Neither guy likes to land takedowns. They want to keep the fight standing. Now, Tuivasa, aka Bam Bam, has lost 5 straight fights. Right? He worked his way all the way up, then hit Cyril Gane, lost that. Sergey Pavlovich lost, submitted by Volkov, submitted by Tybura, and lost to Rosenstrike by split decision last time out, despite Rosenstrike dominating with 91 significant strikes at 37. So Tuivasa's just got to get it together. Now, Teixeira lost to Derek Lewis by first round KO. So that's why this fight's interesting. He did beat Justin Tafa by first round KO. And he beat Arthur Lopez at the Contender Series by KO as well. So the common opponent, Tuivasa KO'd Derek Lewis, but that was at a different point. That's when he had a lot of momentum. He was feeling good about himself. He just overwhelmed Derek Lewis. Now, all of a sudden, you don't have that. He's not the same fighter that he was in that Derek Lewis fight a couple years ago. The guy was 28, 29. He was surging, had the momentum. He's second guessing himself here, but guess what? He's fighting at home. That will help tremendously in this one. I think Bam Bam gets back on, back in the winning ways. I don't know if there'll be a KO, but I like to believe there will be one early in the first round. I think Tuivasa is going to try to overwhelm Teixeira in this one and not get caught up in the reach, because their reach is significantly different. Tuivasa's got to get inside and take away the reach of Teixeira and be aggressive early, and I think he can get the KO early in this fight. We'll see. But in my opinion, he wins one way or the other on significant strikes with the 16-8 heavyweight division, UFC 325. Wow, and that's going out on a limb. So we're taking Tai Tuivasa. I thought for sure we'd take, when I'm looking at those names, I'm like, yeah, Teixeira is going to be a problem. But Tuivasa needs a win, and he needs it badly. So that's the way we see that one going. And a lot of you weigh in the comments and say, are you 100% on this? You can't be 100% on any fight. So I'm always going to say no. I mean, we're just giving previews and what we think may happen, but no one knows in a fight, man. Then you jump up to fight 3, lightweight division, Fiziev versus Ruffy. Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Ruffy. Azerbaijan versus Brazil. Forget about it. This fight is huge, and it's a lightweight division. Let's dive in. In the lightweight division at UFC 325, you got Rafael Fiziev taking on Mauricio Ruffy. I like this. Azerbaijan versus Brazil, 13-4 versus Ruffy's 12-2, and one of the best divisions in the UFC. You know, these fights are always exciting, and it goes down in the main card. Ruffy, 5'11", 3 inches taller than Fiziev. Now, he's 29 years old. Fiziev, 32. Ruffy, 4-inch reach advantage. He stands right-handed. Fiziev is a switch stance fighter, always an advantage because you can choose to match up or go opposite stance. Fiziev, 4.8 significant strikes per minute to 3.8 for Ruffy. He also lands at, like one takedown every 3 rounds. So Ruffy's got to pick up the pace in terms of activity. Fiziev, 90% takedown defense. So he's going to want to probably keep the fight standing where he has an advantage. He's coming off the win over Ignacio Bahamondes, big win by decision. Before that, he lost to several fighters at the top, including Gaethje twice by majority decision and unanimous decision. He also lost to Mateusz Gamrot by second round KO. So he's lost 3 of the last 4, and before that, he was on like a 6-fight win streak. So in comes Ruffy, a tough fighter. He's going to test him. Now, Ruffy lost to Benoit Saint Denis by submission in his last fight, but before that, he won 4 in a row against guys like Jamie Malarkey, who he KO'd, King Green, who he KO'd, and James Yantop, whom he beat by decision. And in each one of those fights, he's either outstriking his opponent or KOing him. Against Saint Denis, he couldn't do anything. He got taken down 3 times, trailed by 12 significant strikes, and that fight finished in the second round. Saint Denis just picked him apart in that fight. So this is a bounce back fight for Ruffy. Fiziev is, he's trying to bounce back as well. Both of these guys are struggling a little bit if you count Mauricio's last fight. Can he bounce back? I think he can, but I don't like the numbers here. I mean, I like the Brazilian, but I don't like the numbers, and I'm not solid on his game yet in terms of the fight game. I just don't see it. Now he can surprise you, which is why it's a tough prediction, right? Because he may, look himself in the mirror after the last fight, realize he's got to get it together, stop talking trash quite as much and get focused. So that worries me in this fight because you're going to get a focused Mauricio Ruffy in this fight, but I still think Fiziev gets the win. He's lost to some big time opponents and, but he's coming off the win and that helps. So I like Fiziev and the numbers to get the job done here against the Brazilian to move to 14-4 lightweight division, UFC 325. Yeah, so we got Fiziev winning this fight, but man, I tell you what, another close one. I mean, the matchmakers are not making it easy on us when it comes to picks. Yet we still have 100 more right picks than wrong picks throughout the year. But of course, we're following the main event and title fights, which were already 0-1 on the year with Paddy Pimblett falling this past week. So as we march forward into the co-main event, you got Dan Hooker, another lightweight fight. Oh my goodness. Dan Hooker versus Benoit Saint Denis, New Zealand versus France. Hooker's going to be the home crowd favorite. He's 24-13. Saint Denis 16-3, and he seems to be getting better and better every time you see him. Let's dive in right now. In the lightweight division, your co-main event at UFC 325, you got Dan Hooker taking on Benoit Saint Denis, who looked great in his last fight. Hooker 24-13 from New Zealand, pretty much fighting at home here in Australia. Saint Denis 16-3 from France. Now Hooker 1 inch taller is 6 feet. He's 35. Saint Denis 29. So he's just now hitting the prime, right? Over the last year or two, but he's still moving up every time you see him. Hooker 2 inch reach advantage. He's a switch stance fighter. Saint Denis stands left-handed. Both guys right at 5 significant strikes per minute, but it's Saint Denis with a tremendous ground game, landing a takedown and a half on average per round. So that's going to be a problem. Hooker 77% takedown defense. He lost to Arman Sarukian by second round submission last time out. Before that, he beat Mateusz Gamrot, Jalen Turner, and Claudio Puelles. Okay, Gamrot and Turner by split decision, but those are still big wins. Saint Denis, on the other hand, dominated Beneil Dariush by first round KO. Okay, we might have picked Dariush, but I'm not sure why. Right, we should have known that Saint Denis should KO him early in the fight. Beat Mauricio Ruffy by submission, and Kyle Propolek by submission. Now he lost to Renato Moicano by KO, Dustin Poirier KO, which is hard to believe that both of those were KOs, but you know, that's when he's 27, 28. Now he's 29. He's getting close to 30. You know, in fact, he will be 30 by the time this fight takes place. So he's right in the prime, and I think he's going to get the job done. I think this is the first big fight that he's going to win. In terms of, I mean, Beneil Dariush is a big win, but he's getting older. This is one against a 35-year-old Dan Hooker who's in the prime of his career. Might be slowing down a little, but not even noticeable yet. This is going to be a huge win for Saint Denis. I think the ground game really takes off here, and he lands a submission. I wouldn't try to stand and strike with Hooker. I mean, you could beat him there too, but it's even. And you take a chance of getting KO'd. Go to the ground, dominate, much like Arman Sarukian did, and finish off Hooker. But this should be a great fight. I just like Saint Denis to get the job done on the road in a hostile environment. In my opinion, to move to 17-3, lightweight division, one of the best here at UFC 325. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a hostile environment for sure for Saint Denis, and Dan Hooker's good, but I just think Saint Denis on another level right now. I don't know if he's going to beat a top 3, top 4 guy per se, but I think he beats Dan Hooker here, despite this thing going down in Australia where he'll be the home crowd favorite. Now, another big fight, you know, last time I think we got this fight wrong. We'll have to see how it plays out this time around. But it's a featherweight main event title fight between Alexander Volkanovski, 27-4, right? With Ilia Topuria gone, he's back in control and might have been in control the whole time if there was no Topuria. Diego Lopes gets a second opportunity, the man from Brazil. Don't invite Brazil to the party. That's the theme of this week's show, really. Don't invite Brazil to the party. That's exactly what Volkanovski's doing. Lopes 27-7. Can he get the job done? Let's find out right now. In the featherweight division, your main event for the featherweight division title at UFC 325. You got the rematch. Alexander Volkanovski takes on Diego Lopes. More on the first fight in a minute. Volkanovski, the champ right now, 27-4 from Australia. Lopes from Brazil, 27-7. So, and this fight goes down in Australia. Lopes, 5 inches taller at 5'11". He's 30. Volkanovski, 37. He's getting up there. Both guys stand right-handed. Lopes has like a 1 inch reach advantage. Volkanovski, much more active, 6.2 significant strikes per minute to 4.1 for Lopes. Volkanovski lands like a takedown every other round. Lopes gets like one every 4 rounds. So you're looking at like 3 takedowns to 1 potentially. Now Volkanovski 70% takedown defense. Lopes right there is 67. Now in the last fight, Volkanovski beat Diego Lopes by decision, 158 to 63 in significant strikes. So he upped that average and held Lopes below his average, had 1 takedown to none. Just a dominant performance, which is why everyone's scratching their heads as to why there is a rematch. Now, normally we would go down the list, but there's only one fight to cover, and that's Lopes in his last fight beating Gene Silva. 3 takedowns to none. Ended up getting the second round KO, 74 to 43 in significant strikes. So when you beat Gene Silva like that and then finish him, you're right back into title contention. And that's exactly what is happening here for Diego Lopes. Will this time be any different? Well, there's 2 mitigating factors here. One, Volkanovski is getting older, right? He's not 35, 34 anymore. He's 37. So he's rounded that corner to where he's going to start falling off a little bit. Is he there yet? I don't think so. Advantage Volkanovski with the fact that it's in Sydney, Australia. So this would be like the height of his career if he can get the win here. So he's going to be ready to go at the highest level. And as much as I like Diego Lopes, I think Volkanovski wins this fight. I can't see him losing in front of the home crowd. Going forward, I don't know. But Volkanovski is going to win this fight. And we got to get off to a solid start. We picked Lopes last time, it didn't work. So who knows? Maybe we pick Volkanovski and that doesn't work. But I saw enough in the last fight to believe Volkanovski is going to win and win big. In my opinion, with the 28-4, much the same. I think there's going to be more takedown attempts because Lopes can't keep up with Volkanovski. So look for that, but it won't matter. Volkanovski wins here. Featherweight division, main event at UFC 325. Yeah, so we're taking Volkanovski, but I can't stress enough that I'm nervous about the age because eventually Volk's going to walk out and he's going to look older, and that's when he's going to get caught, right? You know, he's looked phenomenal against everyone not named Ilia Topuria or when he's not in the lightweight division. So this is going to be a true test for him because Lopes is getting better. Volkanovski's still going to be in phenomenal shape, but he's not getting any better. He is where he is. So the distance between the two is definitely going to be closer. That's why you're getting the rematch here. And you know, when you look at it, Lopes is now 31. I mean, that's like the perfect prime age. And if he's going to get the win, it's now over the 37-year-old Volkanovski. So that's just how we see it going down. You know, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I just can't see Volkanovski losing just yet. I just can't see it. So that's what we got. UFC 325 going down this Saturday night, and we will be here with you to deliver all the fight reactions. Until next time, it's your boy Chris Cross. Have a great day and God bless. As always, peace.